everybody, and welcome to episode 131 of the Let's Play world. If you remember last episode, we spent some time building a goat horn farm and a nice little path that goes down to our farm. And between episodes, I've been breeding up some goats, and the short story is it works really well. So I have a bunch of the ponder, a bunch of the sing, a bunch of the feel, and a bunch of the seek horn. I have been working on breeding up some of the goats, and I haven't gotten any screaming goats yet. They're a little bit more rare, and once we get the screaming goats, there are 4 more horn variations we can get. So I'm just going to keep working on that between episodes and see if we can get those all collected. I think that'd be really fun. I don't know if I mentioned it last episode, but this farm is based on a video I watched that Waddles made. He built a farm, and it doesn't look anything like this one, but they both use the same mechanics. So I just watched his videos, saw what he did, and sort of adapted it into my own design. I left a link in the description last time, and I'll leave it again this time so you can check it out. Other thing I did between episodes is I sort of figured out the color scheme for our tower. I had talked about making it a little bit more gradiated, and so I'll show you what we're thinking here. We're going to have this tower. It's going to be blackstone, goes the whole length of the thing. The outside is going to be wrapped in deep slate. And what I want to do is have it dark in the center and slowly lighten as it gets further away. So what we'll do here, as you can see, is pretty dark. Even the blackstone is starting to spill out a little bit, but this will all be deep slate with little specklings of the blackstone, and then you can see as we move out, it'll get a little bit lighter. So that's the plan as far as the color scheme goes, and we'll keep playing with it as we build and kind of adjust things as we go. You know, this sort of thing here, I made most of it deep slate, but again, the further away we get from the center, I think I want it to lighten. So we'll play with it as we go. It'll be a learning curve and a little bit of massaging. Couple things I was thinking about. I want to get this done today. I want to put a roof on this, and on the other side, this is going to be a little different, but I also want to put a roof on this. That way, this floor will basically be done as far as the interior goes. I think the other thing I might want to do today is maybe figure out how big our bedroom is going to be, and I would like to build the staircase up to the next floor. Couple of things I really want to get done are the map room and the planning room. I'm thinking this is going to take quite a while to finish this base, and there's a lot of work to do. Plus, 1.20 is eventually going to come out, and there's all kinds of stuff we're going to want to do there with exploring and finding the new biomes and all of that. So I would like to have the map room and the planning room in place before we get to that point, so we can put all of our to-do lists up on the wall and keep track of all of our exploration and all that. So today we'll see if we can get this staircase built. We'll see if we can figure out how big our bedroom is going to be, and we'll see if we can get the interior of our storage rooms completely done. We'll probably start with this one. So here's a couple things I'm thinking about. I know I want this to be arched, and I want this to be arched, and in between those two arches, there's 10 blocks, and that's a really tricky number to divide evenly. So maybe I should just chop it up unevenly, or maybe I should leave it all the way open. I'm not sure yet. And then over here, this space is much taller. And so I'm not sure if we're going to have arches here or if it's just going to be square. So I'm just going to try some stuff, start placing some blocks and see what happens. Okay, little progress update here. So we've got our original arch here and our original arch here. And what I did is I just went up one block and then kind of continued the arch. And it creates this sort of sculpted ceiling that I haven't completed yet. And it's fine. The space looks pretty good. It's a little boring. I would like to include some, additional arches here, but like I said, spacing them out evenly is not possible, so I'd have to do something a little creative. The other thing, of course, is this looks pretty flat, and eventually we'll do some different materials or some texturing. I'm just trying to figure out the shape right now. And then down here, we're going to have chests all throughout here. That way, once we have some farms, we can have them feeding into here, and that'll be real, real cool. So I'll probably put some chests in there to finish that out as well. Okay, another update. What I did here is I skipped 2 blocks, added another arch, skipped 4 blocks, added another arch, skipped 2 blocks. And I think it looks better. Adds a little bit more interest and texture, but it looks really flat. So I'm thinking I might change up perhaps this material here, leave the arches as stone, but add something else in here. Do I like that? I don't think I do. Okay, this is looking a lot better. The arches really pop. It all kind of matches, looks real nice. It's still pretty flat. You know, we're just working in stone and spruce. We definitely need to get in there with some different materials and, you know, texture it up and that kind of thing. But I think I really like this. And the other thing I'm thinking about is somehow we need to add in some light. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out all of the torches here and then put some blocks up in the air and see if we can find where they could, you know, potentially be suspended and light up this whole area here. So like, let's say, oh gosh, let's see, where's the center? Right about there. So like if we had frog lights like here, like, would that create enough light? Should they be one higher? And then if we did another one hanging from here, be 4 over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Frog light. Let's see. Looks like we're getting pretty well lit up all over here. And I wonder if we can put them one higher and still get enough light. Let's see here. We are getting all the way down to 4. Yeah, I think we could probably even put them up higher in the air. Okay. Looks a little moodier. They definitely feel more out of the way, you know, being up higher. Let's check our numbers again here. So I've got 3. I've got a light level of 5 or 6 out here. We've got light right there. We've got light up there. We'll probably end up with little, you know, like lanterns on top of these, but it feels like we're getting enough light here. And then if we were to put some perhaps some chains or something here, and then dress these up a little bit, that would look real, real good. Okay, this is starting to look really, really good. So I added in some dark oak stairs to add a little bit of texture like we did on the floor, make it look a little bit weathered. Added a couple of mossy blocks, and then I covered the frog lights in trapdoors. This one is oak trapdoors, and I think it matches pretty well. It looks good. This one I covered in mangrove trapdoors, and that one I think pops a little bit more. And then of course I hung them from chains. I'm not sure which one I like better, so leave me a comment, let me know. Do you like the oak or do you like the mangrove? Okay, now that we've got this one looking good, let's go take a look at the other side. I think what I want to do over here is basically just kind of finish the box. I want to build the walls all the way up. I want to put a ceiling in. I want to put the chests in. And I just want to see what this space looks like when it's enclosed. Wow. Isn't it interesting that this space here is exactly the same size as this space? It's the same amount of storage. It's the same footprint. But this looks so cavernous. And this looks so cozy. I think it's just really interesting. Next step I'm going to do, I think, is put the lights in, just like I did over here, and that way we'll have similar illumination, and then maybe figure out something to do with the ceiling up here. Yeah, that makes things look a lot less spooky, brightens things up quite a lot. And I think what I might do is something with some wood, so we have a similar feel as over here. Maybe put some beams in or something like that so that we have somewhere to hang our lights from. Okay, I'm really liking this. Just real simple. Got a beam supported ceiling here. I added more of the kind of deep slate mixed in, a little bit of texture, and I'm very interested to see how this kind of all comes together. Back here, behind our black stone column, is just this little space that I've just been using for shulker storage. And I might put a window in here just so that we have something, you know, of interest to look at. But I'm very curious to see how this all comes together. Because right now, when we are in this space and we look back at it, like you can see the column here, and then you can kind of see through to where the bedroom's going to be, but you can also kind of peek through to where that window would be. And then when we go upstairs, we can kind of peek over down into that space just a little bit. It's just real weird and kind of interesting how it's all kind of coming together. And I'm very excited to see, you know, once we start building some of these walls and figuring some of this out, you know, like I might not leave this exactly. Maybe we'll put some stairs here or some details. That might be kind of cool. Yeah, it's just really starting to look really weird and labyrinthy, and I really, really like that. So the last two things I want to do is figure out how big the bedroom is going to be, and then start those stairs up to the next level. The bedroom. I think as a change, we're going to do the floor in stone. And I think we're going to use the stone bricks, and I'm also going to use some polished andesite and maybe some regular stone. So it looks a little bit kind of patchworky and kind of tiled. And I don't want it to hang too far out. You know, remember our rule about coming out about 17 blocks. So I'm going to kind of measure that out and see how much space we have to work with, and then see if we can figure out a nice shape. So I think this is about as big as we want to go. So from the center there out to there, that's about 16 blocks. So not quite the limit, but I don't think we want to go too much bigger than that. Okay, this will be our entry here. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think I want it to be sort of this shape. And that way, like back here, we could have, you know, our bed. And then, you know, over here, we could have perhaps like an armor stand or, you know, something of interest, collectible or something on the wall here. And I think that would be kind of a cool shape. And this doesn't have to be our only bedroom. We might have a couple of bedrooms throughout the base. That looks adequately patchworky to me. I definitely like that. And then for the walls, we'll probably do stone bricks, but we might bring in some of these other materials to kind of brighten it up in here. All right, I'm feeling really good about this. So as we come across here, we will walk into this little space. I replaced the blocks on the corner with walls, and it adds a little bit of kind of depth to the room, which I really like. I just did stone bricks and stone, and I only went up a couple of blocks because I'm not sure what I want to do on the ceiling. And I think we're going to get informed on how this is going to look based on what we build up above it. You know, if we build something out here, this might match up nicely. So I don't want to go too much higher than this yet. I want to build the next level up and then see how this all kind of fits together. So when we walk down here, we can go into our storage room or up to our portal room. And yeah, it's all starting to look really, really cool. And speaking of the next floor, let's get to work on that. Oh, hello. So here next to the portal, we're going to have a stairway that comes up here, and we'll have a little bit of a landing. And then we're going to go straight up this way, up to about that level. This is looking real good. I'm very excited to get this going because up here we're going to have 2 rooms. We're going to have our planning room so we can keep track of all of our plans and tasks and to-dos, and then we're going to have our map room. Once we build our map room, I'll probably run back to the old base and make copies of our existing world map so we can continue expanding on that. And once we get some buildings up here, this room will start to come together. The portal will start to come together. This little hallway will come together. Our new bedroom will start to come together. And yeah, our whole base will start to come together. It's going to look real cool. I want to fly out just a little bit, see what it looks like with our recent additions here. Our cool little path that we built down to the farm. As we turn around and the base comes into view, starting to look like a thing. That's pretty cool. We made some good progress. Still, obviously, a ton to do. But that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.